Hey guys, so I forgot to film an intro for this video, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. And I'm first picking up this ColourPop eyeshadow in the shade Issues, which is a really pretty light peachy color. And I was really positively impressed by these ColourPop eyeshadows. They are new, and I wasn't really sure what to expect from them, but I think they're very comparable to high-end eyeshadow, so if you're interested in picking up some of these shades, I really would. I have from this quad 3 mattes and 1 shimmer, and I really like all of them. So I would just go and check out what colors they have and then go from there. And they are $5 a piece, so they're really affordable. And I'm just taking this shade and putting it all into my crease, just building it up little by little. Next, I'm taking the shade Raw Sienna, which is from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, and I will just be putting that also into my crease, but a little bit lower than where I put the ColourPop eyeshadow. And this is just, it's kind of like a darker peach color. It leans a little bit more brown, and I'm just putting this in there to help deepen up the crease and really go in step by step with slightly darker colors to build up the intensity that I want. Alright, so now I'm taking the shade Take a Break on a flat shader brush, and I also, after I put some on the brush, I sprayed it with a little bit of Fix Plus, and I will be putting that mostly in the center of my lid, but also putting it slightly in the inner and outer corner of my eye. And the reason I put the Fix Plus on there is to just make it a little bit more intense. But now I'm taking the shade Centerfold, and I felt like the look got a little bit too brown and orangey, so I wanted to bring a little bit of that peachiness back into the look. And this color, Centerfold, is very intense, and it's almost a neon color, so I just lightly tapped a little bit onto my brush just so that it brought the peachiness back in without it being neon. And here I'm just cleaning up the uppermost part of my crease again. Um, and then now I'm back to putting a little bit more of that shade Take a Break onto the lid. And then here is just a little close-up of the finished eye look before we move on and finish the rest of our face. Okay, so moving on to the face, I'm going to prime with the NYX Angel Veil Primer and then the Shea Moisture Mattifying Primer, just mixing them together, and I will be putting that all over my face. I find that the Shea Moisture just helps with the mattifying, and then the NYX Angel Veil just helps kind of smooth out all the skin, so that's why I like mixing them together. Now I'm taking the L'Oreal Infallible foundation, which this one, it's different from the really popular ones like the Pro Glow and the Pro Matte one. I never see anyone talk about this foundation, which it really should be talked about because it's extremely lightweight and you don't need a lot of product to get a good like medium coverage, which is what I was going for this look, and it lasts a really long time. They have a pretty good shade selection besides the fact that they are a little bit on the pink side, but the foundation is just so good. So hopefully me using it here on camera will help get the word out about it because it's a really great foundation, especially for oily skin. Okay, so now I'm going in with the Wet n Wild concealer, and I have mine in the lightest shade, which I am really liking this concealer. I think I saw a video where someone was saying that it's a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, which I don't think it's a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape just because this one isn't as full coverage and the consistency is a little different, but I definitely do think it's a very good drugstore concealer. I would say, I mean, I don't know. It's really full coverage and it's really good and it's very affordable. So I guess it could be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, but if you've maybe tried the Tarte Shape Tape and you're looking for a more affordable option, I would definitely check out this one. Or if you're just looking for a good drugstore concealer, this one is really awesome, and it comes in a good variety of shades as well. So next I will be going in with the usual, which is the Coty Airspun powder, and I will just be putting this all in the areas that I put the Wet n Wild concealer, which if you haven't watched any of my other videos, what I do is I put some on my sponge, and I won't really bake with the powder under my eyes. I'll just take a little bit and I'll press it into the skin, and I just think it leaves a very flawless finish. So I've been using this technique for a really long time now, and if you've ever had troubles with creasing underneath your eyes or in any other areas of your face, I would definitely try this method of using your sponge to apply powder. Okay, so now I'm taking the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade Translucent, and I will be setting the rest of my face with it, just using this Wet n Wild Kabuki brush. So now I'm going in with the Essence Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade Light, and I will be using this to bronze up my skin. And I'm sure some of you guys have noticed from my last videos that I never really contour, and it's mostly because I don't have the patience for it. I can't quickly contour just because it always looks really muddy and not very good. So that's why I never do it, and so I just use a matte or just a bronzer with maybe a touch of shimmer to kind of do a bronzing and contour, just because, again, I don't really like to contour. Now I'm going in with the Becca and Champagne Pop Split, and I will be using the blush Flower Child, which is a really beautiful neutral pink color. It's great for every day, and so this was my go-to for quite a while. For highlight, I will be using Champagne Pop, which is the highlight that Jaclyn Hill created with Becca. I'm sure many of you have heard about this highlight. It's been around for, I want to say, about 2-ish years, maybe about a year and a half, and it's a absolutely stunning highlight. It goes with so many different looks, and so if you're curious in this highlight, I would definitely pick it up, just because it's something that you can use every day for a super intense highlight or even just something very subtle. And here I'm just going to bake the sides of my cheeks because, again, I'm pretty lazy about bronzing up the skin, so I always like to go in and clean up the sides of my cheeks. For mascara, I'm going to use the Essence The False Lashes mascara, which I just decided to pick up on a whim, and it's okay. I think I like the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara a little bit more, just because this one's a little bit clumpy. And then for the bottom lashes, I'm going to use the Julep Length Matters, and I somehow lost the clip of me applying it, but that's okay. For lips, I'm going to use the Milani liquid lipsticks in the shade 10 Adorable, and then on top of that, I'm going to put the shade 39 Pretty. And the reason I mix the two is because I like the one Adorable, but I thought it was a little too nude and brownish for the look, so I wanted to make it a little bit more peachy and pink to go with the eyes, and so that's why I added the shade Pretty on top of it. So now I'm just going to go in and set the face with the NYX Matte Finishing Spray. And then after I do that, the look will be complete. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!